Hi, I'm Megan Francis, the Public Affairs Officer with the Colville Tribes, and I have our chairman, Dr. Michael E. Marchand, here to talk about the name change. So, my first question is, what does the name Colville mean to you?
Well, word Colville comes from an Englishman named Sir Andrew Colville. He was on board of directors for the Hudson Bay Company in the 1800s. That was probably the biggest company on the planet, and they basically came to the Northwest to get furs. Furs were worth more than gold at that time, and they came to the Northwest to trade with Indians and make lots of money. And so they made lots of money. We didn't make so much money, but they depleted the furs, and over time they named a fort after him because he owned the company. And there's actually, the Colville word's actually used all around the world. There's rivers named after him, different towns, but basically they named it after a board of directors guy. It's not an Indian name. And so he was not really a particular friend of the Indians, but he did business with Indians, and so that's where the name Colville comes from. And actually his name is spelled with one L, and then later on the United States Army took over that fort and they decided to change it to two L's. No real reason, but they thought it looked better, I guess. And so that became our name, and it was not unusual for tribes to be named after the local fort, so we were named after Fort Colville. It's definitely not an Indian name.
Wow. So what is the significance of reclaiming our name?
Well, we've been talking for years, even my grandfather, it's about that name. The name's not really our name, it's not an Indian name, and all our tribes had original names, and we have 12 tribes today, and they all have names for themselves. And so we're trying to think, like, how can we go back to an original name? And I guess part of the story is how do we lose those names? There's United States policy for forever to erase tribal culture, erase tribal names. They renamed individual Indians. My grandfather's name was Sir Imp. He went to the mission. They drew names out of a hat. He drew the name Cleveland. It became Cleveland. And all the kids that went to the mission, they got English names. They drew them out of a hat. And so they're trying to transform us. They're trying to assimilate us. They're trying to erase all our culture. It's against the law to have ceremonies. Against the law to speak our language. Against the law to have long hair. It's against the law for three Indians to even stand together. They're afraid we're going to start a war or something. And so there was just a policy of assimilation, destroy the old culture. And so this is kind of like trying to reverse it. We're trying to get back to what did we really call ourselves? And looking at some of the history and the documentation. A lot of our tribes, our 12 tribes, are referred to the Columbia River, which they call Big Water. It's a pretty universal name for the Big Water, Columbia River. A lot of our people worked at Kettle Falls, and that was called Big Falls. And so we got consensus that, well, let's see if Big Water works. And then we have 12 tribes, 3 major language groups, and so council passed a resolution about 2 weeks ago to let's put this in front of the people. They can vote and choose if they want this new name or not. But it'll be the Confederated Tribes of Big Water, and then we'll also adopt the 3 main language group translations. And so right now we're working on those. But one of them was Okanagan. It was Swanepkoa. That was the word for Big Water for the Okanagan people. And I'm not sure about the other ones, but we'll have those in the next few days.
What will be the process to change the name?
The name is part of our Constitution now, and there's even a story behind the Constitution. Originally, as Indians, we had chiefs, we had our own culture, we had our own government, but none of it was written down. We're oral people. And so in the 1930s, the United States wanted to change that. They wanted to get rid of chiefs, they wanted to get an elected form of government in, and some people say they were trying to put a government in that they could deal with and maybe even control and influence. They had trouble doing that with their chiefs. And so in 1934, the Indian Reorganization Act was passed by Congress, and that law did a lot of things, but one of the things it did was it tried to propose model governments, and so it kind of imposed written constitutional governments on tribes. In each region, they're promoting different model governments. And here we adopted a modified form. We decided to go with 14 council, 2-year terms. It all comes with the Constitution. Name of the Colville tribe comes out of the Constitution. So if we want to change the name of the tribe, we've got to change the Constitution. And then the Constitution itself has provisions on how you change it. And it requires a 2/3 vote of the tribal council. We just did that a couple of weeks ago. That's done. And then it requires a majority vote of the tribal membership. And that has yet to happen. And then it also requires that that election be handled by the Department of Interior. So it's not like a regular election. It's a special election kind of run by the federal government on our behalf. And so we have not made the formal request to the federal government yet, but we should be doing so real shortly. And once that formal request goes in, they have 90 days to conduct a special election. So within 90 days, whenever that goes in, our membership will vote on it, decide whether they want a new name, Big Water, or its translations, or whether they might keep the old name Colville. I know some people like the word Colville, it's been here a long time. Some people get totally revolted by the word Colville and they want to change it, and some people want to change it but they want something else. And so we'll just see where it stands and we'll have a vote.
Okay, well, so who will pay for the special election?
The special election is a federal responsibility, and so in this case, the Bureau of Indian Affairs will be paying for all the costs of the election. Now we'll probably have some in-kind expenses because they'll have to work with our staffs, but those will be pretty minor.
Okay.
We have names of the big people, all the addresses and everything.
How will we reestablish our name? Will we have a new logo?
Our lawyers are working on that. We have big budgets. Just our tribal government, we spend over $1 million a week in our tribal government. So that translates in lots of contracts. And so the Colville Confederated Tribes are in all these contracts. And so we're making sure we change the legal name of the tribe to take all that into account. And so we'll transition into that. It might take some time, but we're making sure it's legally done right. And then for ourselves, I've already seen people redrafting our existing logos and flags, just changing words, and so it's a pretty easy matter to redesign it. But we may want to have a whole new design too. We have time to discuss that. But the Constitution will change the name, but then we can discuss: do we want new logos? Do we want new everything else? That's all up in the air. And changing those things is relatively easy. We don't have to have a referendum vote on those, and we could even have talk to the members, or it's kind of up in the air. We also want to get logos for each band too, so there's a lot of things to work on.
So I hope that this encourages more tribal members to be involved with our government, and I hope we have a high turnout for voters.
Yeah, get out and vote.